Hello guys, this is Terry from Genkigamingtv coming back at you with a One Piece theory. Before we dive in, I want to thank Lucas Dimond for the music playing in the background. A link to his channel will be down below, as well as a link to his SoundCloud. So, sit back, relax, we're diving into the theory of what is Queen's Devil Fruit. It seems like we're sticking with a prehistoric theme, based upon Jack being a mammoth and King being a pterodon, which is a type of pterodactyl. With that being said, neither Jack nor King are a hyper-defensive type of animal. I mean, mammoths are normally referred to as kind of peaceful animals, similar to elephants, except if you make them mad, they're bound to stampede. So with that being a little bit of a more passive approach, there's a couple different things that Queen can be. The first thing I want to bring up is Queen could technically be a triceratops. And with that in mind, my reasoning behind this is Yonko, for the most part, always seems to have a crew member who is basically, quote-unquote, their shield. The one who can take a heavy hit for them that they don't really have to really, per se, keep an eye on. For Whitebeard, you kind of had Josu in that role, and for Big Mom, you kind of had Cracker / Snack in that role. Pretty much Marco and Katakuri were also in play for both Yonko respectively, but Cracker / Snack and Josu respectively are able to use their abilities defensively and have strong armament hockey. We've not seen that for Kaido's crew. And it's being inferred that Jack, whenever he shows back up, may be tangoing with Neko, Mamashi, and Inuarashi. So you have that in play, where that revenge story is going to play out from that angle. So who's left to protect Kaido? Queen. And Triceratops are herbivores, and their name from ancient Greek origin actually refers to a three-horned face. And if you kind of look at Queen and you see his mustache and his long hair and things like horns have the same genetic makeup to a certain degree. And being able to basically shift into a Triceratops and use its thick skull to block an attack, because let's face it, the jawline / head of a Triceratops is really sturdy and is able to kind of block attacks in a pivotal stance. It's like things tend to bounce off of it to a certain degree, and that combined with armament hockey and good observation hockey could allow Queen to be rather defensive and be able to do a decent job of truly alleviating Kaido's fear of being attacked out of nowhere, even though that fear isn't really a constant thing, but having to deal with the Big Mom pirates, the Straw Hats, and the other problems within Wano. Kaido's back is slowly becoming against the wall, along with Kid being possibly a player in all of this, and X-Drake being a turncoat. Queen's gonna have to be that defensive player who can basically deliver. The next ancient double fruit I would like to talk about is the ancient rhino double fruit, the Arsinotherium, which is a ancient rhino-like creature that lived during the late Ocean and early Oligocene period of time in northern Africa. And they're basically a rhino with one large horn and two smaller little horns on its head. The reason why I bring up an animal or an ancient creature like this is it still kind of fits Queen's little motif of having the mustache kind of fraying off. It could be the two smaller horns and his long hair that's kind of back in a ponytail-ish thing could act as that big horn on his head. And modern day rhinos are strong enough, if stampeding, they can possibly topple certain small-than vehicles and are rather territorial at times. Wano is Queen's territory, kind of, if you want to think of it, because Kaido's territory is his crew's territory. And for this Arsinotherium, it stood about 1.75 meters tall, which is like 5 foot 9 inches, and was 3 meters or 9 feet 10 inches in length. That could potentially cause Queen to be a threat, and there's always my personal favorite option for Queen, a Stegosaurus. Yes, I am sticking with the ancient creatures theme. I mean, Queen could always be something like a scorpion, and we just don't know yet, but we're sticking with this ancient theme for now. And the reason why I bring up a Stegosaurus, if you look at Queen's hair, it flows down his back and could be symbolic of the Stegosaurus's plates. And each Stegosaurus has a different array of plates. No two are the same, even within species, is what paleontologists have said. Plus you have the spikes that are on the tail that were used for defense. The plates themselves have been rumored to be used for both defense and for temperature regulation, and are made of keratin, the same thing that's within hair and nails. Plus, you have a wonderful, strong dinosaur like this, infused with armament hockey, the ability to basically swing its tail and use those tail spikes to swipe attacks away from Kaido, or even use the plates by jumping up into the air to block an attack from Kaido, or potentially even cheesing the One Piece story by allowing the plates to basically let Queen hover or fly, could allow Queen to get the upper hand. And as of right now, we don't know who's going to be fighting who to a certain degree. We only have assumptions going forward, especially with Big Mom and her crew being in Wano. Memory or not, she is still a threat and will always be a threat. And ability-wise, Queen has to be very strong. Just from how Queen just kind of brushed off the fact that Jack was even a thing. If you look back at the first time we were introduced to Queen and King, it's like, Jack? Who's that? It's like Jack is fodder in Queen's eyes. Queen is like, an equal? No. Jack is the person who carries our bags, King. At least that's the attitude Queen gives me based off of that dialogue exchange, that Queen basically thinks Jack's just kind of there. And just a little bit of card playing background. The 4 queens in a deck of cards. The Queen of Hearts is Judith, a biblical figure. The Diamond is Rachel, another biblical figure. The Spade is Pelos, which is another name for the goddess Athena. And the Club is Argene, which is the anagram of Regina, Latin for Queen. So with that in mind, depending upon Queen's Devil Fruit and attack style, Queen might actually replicate one of these personalities to a higher degree. Because at this point, in Wano, Hatter's crew, with the exception of certain people, have been really weak, or what we assume to be weak, and we as readers never take into account power scaling, and that the Straw Hats and allies are all just about close to the top of the scale, give or take, because eventually Luffy is going to be Yonko power level, or have that top power level eventually, or skill level. So all in all, I think Queen's speed and defensive capability are going to be something that's going to take everyone by surprise. So here's hoping that Queen is a Stegosaurus. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now, and have yourselves an amazing morning, afternoon, and or evening.